Hello guys, today we will learn the parts of a speech noun. In this video, we are going to learn about nouns in more details. Here, I will give you a short introduction of each parts of a speech. For more details, please refer to other videos in this series. So let's begin with noun. Nouns are described as words that refer to a person, place, thing, event, substance, quality, quantity, etc. There are 5 types of nouns: common noun, proper noun, collective noun, abstract noun, and material noun. Common noun refers to the name common to all persons or things of the same kind. For example, boy, girl, city, book, etc. Proper noun refers to the name of a particular place, person, or thing. Example, Taj Mahal, Ganga, New Delhi, etc. Collective noun. Collective noun refers to the name of a group or collection of many taken together. Example, crowd, herd, fleet, team, etc. Abstract noun refers to the name of a feeling, a state of mind, or quality. Something which you can't see but you can feel it. For example, honesty, bravery, etc. Material nouns are the nouns that refer to the names of materials or substances out of which things are made. For example, gold, iron, food, etc. Material nouns are further divided into 2 categories, that is, countable nouns and uncountable nouns. The things which can be counted, for example, chocolates, books, pen, etc., are countable, but the things which can be measured but can't be counted, for example, milk, oil, water, these all are called uncountable nouns. Do you know that the following nouns, most of which are countable in Indian languages, are uncountable in English? Let's have a look on them. Advice, luggage, scenery, work, weather, traffic, furniture, news, bread, paper, iron, steel, equipment, information, poetry, travel, homework, thunder, hair. Let's see some example in sentences. I have a news for you. Do you know this is a wrong sentence? The correct one is I have some news. We had a lot of luggages. This is wrong. The correct is we had a lot of luggage. So, with these nouns, we use a countable noun like piece, bottle, kilo, etc. plus of. With an uncountable noun, when we need to say how much bread, milk, oil, etc. as it's given below. A piece of bread or a loaf of bread, a bottle of milk, a can of oil, a glass of water, a cup of coffee, a packet of sugar, a kilo of wheat, a piece of advice, 2 sheets of paper or 2 pieces of paper, etc. It's interesting to know that in some cases, English has a separate uncountable noun and a separate countable noun referring to the same area of meaning. Here you can see a table in which a list of countable nouns are given, and beside that the uncountable nouns are written. For example, a journey, whereas its uncountable noun is travel. A job is countable, whereas work is uncountable. The same way, poem, meal, loaf, climate, etc. are countable, whereas poetry, food, bread, weather are uncountable. Even it's more interesting to know that some nouns which are normally uncountable are used countably with a different meaning. For example, a daily paper means a newspaper is countable, whereas some paper to write on are uncountable. The same way, an iron which is used for pressing the cloths is countable, whereas the iron is a metal is uncountable. A glass of orange juice is countable, whereas a window made of glass is uncountable. A rubber, which is eraser, is countable, but the rubber is elastic, that is uncountable. So here we can see that the same word is used in different senses and considered differently as countable and uncountable. One more example, we would like 2 teas and 1 coffee. This is countable. But if we say, I don't drink tea or coffee, it's uncountable. Now, let's have a look on some of the sentences which we commonly speak and those are wrong. What a terrible weather. This is a wrong sentence. The correct one is, what terrible weather. Do you know why so? Because see above, in the first table, we have seen that the weather is uncountable noun. So we can't use a with this. The same way, let me give you an advice. The correct one is, let me give you a piece of advice. I bought a bread is wrong. The correct one is, I brought a packet of bread. I have done several works today. This is wrong. I have done a lot of work today. What a beautiful scenery. This is a wrong sentence. The correct one is what beautiful scenery. After knowing about the nouns, its types and the common errors we do while using the nouns, now let's have a look on abstract nouns and how these are derived from verbs, adjectives and nouns. Here you can see a table in which the verbs and the abstract noun is given. The same way, adjectives and the abstract noun formed from these adjectives are given. And here you can also see the abstract nouns formed from the nouns. So let's read few examples. Verb act. Its abstract noun is action. Appear, appearance. Behave, behavior. Believe is verb. Belief is abstract noun. The same way, let's have a look on the adjectives. Able, ability. Angry, anger. Beautiful, beauty. Brave, bravery. Now come to the nouns. Brother is a noun. Its abstract noun is brotherhood. Child, childhood. Friend, friendship. Now let's know about the cases of nouns. The case of noun helps to know about the function of the noun in a sentence. There are 4 types of cases: nominative case, objective case, possessive case and vocative case. The objective case is further divided in 2 types: dative case and accusative case. We will also learn about the complement of the verb and the case in apposition to a noun. Before knowing these cases in detail, let's see the difference between the direct and indirect objects. So what are direct objects? The ordinary object is called the direct object of the verb. For example, I like ice cream, she played football. Here ice cream and football are direct objects. The direct object always answers what or who. The indirect objects of a verb denotes the person to whom Something is given or for whom something is done. The position of the indirect object is immediately after the verb and before the direct object. For example, he gave me a book. The direct object is book and the indirect object is me. Indirect object answers whom or to whom. Nouns and pronouns in English are said to display case according to their function in the sentence. They can be subjective, also called nominative, which means they act as the subject of independent or dependent clauses. It means when the noun acts as the subject in a sentence, it is called subjective case. The same way, possessive, which means they show possession of something else. It means when a noun denotes possession or ownership, it is called possessive noun. Objective case means they function as the recipient of action or are the object of a preposition. In simple language, when a noun acts as an object, it is called objective case, and object may be a noun, pronoun or a phrase. A group of words which has neither subject nor verb is called phrase. Next is vocative case. When a noun or a pronoun is used to call or to attention of a person or persons, it is called vocative case. For example, Mohan, come here. Sit down, boys. The indirect objects in a sentence are always living and it answers whom. These are also called dative case. And when a noun is an object of a preposition rather than the verb, it is called accusative case. For example, she is playing in the room. So here you can see that the room has come after in, and in is a preposition here and room is the object of this preposition. नाउन केसेस को समझने का एक आसान तरीका है जैसे आप हिंदी में कारक को समझते हैं। यहाँ सब्जेक्टिव या नॉमिनेटिव केस कर्ता कारक को दिखाता है। पजेसिव केस या जिसे हम जेनेटिव केस भी कहते हैं वह संबंध कारक को दर्शाता है। ऑब्जेक्टिव केस कर्म कारक को दर्शाता है। इंग्लिश में जिसे हम डेटिव केस कहते हैं उसे आप हिंदी में संप्रदान कारक की तरह जानते हैं। और वोकेटिव केस आपका संबोधन कारक है। जिस प्रकार नाउन के केस होते हैं उसी प्रकार प्रोनाउन के भी केस होते हैं जिसे हम प्रोनाउन की वीडियो में देखेंगे। Now let's learn how to create the plural of the nouns. There are some rules related to it. Number 1, to make regular nouns plural, add s to the end. For example, cat, cats, house, houses. Next rule, if the singular noun ends in s, double s, sh, ch, x or z, add es to the end of it to make it plural. For example, truss, trusses, bus, buses, marsh, marshes, lunch, lunches, tax, taxes, blitz, blitzes. Next rule, in some cases, singular nouns ending in s or z require that you double the s or z prior to adding the es for pluralization. For example, fez, fezzes, gas, gases. Next rule, if the noun ends with f or fe, the f is often changed to ve before adding the s to form the plural version. For example, wife, wife, the plural is wives. wolf, wolf, the plural is wolves, wolves. Here you can see that the f is removed and ve is added before using the s. There are some exceptions to this rule. These are roof, roofs, belief, beliefs, chef, chefs, chief, chiefs. These exceptions do not follow this rule. If a singular noun ends in Y and the letter before the Y is a consonant, change the ending to IES to make the noun plural. For example, city, we will remove Y and will add IES. It will become cities. Puppy, puppies. Next rule, if the singular noun ends in Y and the letter before the Y is a vowel, simply add an S to make it plural. For example, ray, rays, boy, boys. Next rule, if the singular noun ends in O, add ES to make it plural. For example, potato, potatoes, tomato, tomatoes. There are some exceptions which do not follow this rule. These are photo, photos, piano, pianos, halo, halos. Next, with the unique word volcano, you can apply the standard pluralization for words that end in O or not. It's your choice. Both of the following are correct. Volcanoes, spelling VOLCANOES and VOLCANOS. Both are correct. If the singular noun ends in US, the plural ending is frequently I. For example, CACTUS, cactus, is changed to CACTI, cacti. Focus, foci. Next, if the singular noun ends in IS, the plural ending is ES. Examples are analysis, analysis, ellipsis, ellipsis. Next rule, if the singular noun ends in ON, the plural ending is A. For example, phenomenon, phenomena, criterion, criteria. Next rule, some nouns don't change at all when they are pluralized. Examples, sheep, sheep, series, series, species, species, deer, deer. You need to see these nouns in context to identify them as singular or plural. Consider the following sentence. Mark caught one fish, but I caught 3 fish. Let's know about the plural noun rules for irregular nouns. Irregular nouns follow no specific rules, so it's best to memorize these or look up the proper pluralization in the dictionary. Let's see the examples. Child, children, goose, geese, man, men, woman, women, tooth, teeth, foot, feet, mouse, mice, person, people. So today you have learned a lots of things about nouns, its types, its cases, how to create the plurals of the nouns, etc. Let's know some more important points about the nouns which are very useful. Number 1, uncountable nouns are never written in plural forms. For example, sugar is an uncountable noun, its plural is also sugar. The same way, milk is uncountable, its plural is also milk. Next, collective nouns are generally treated as singular nouns depending on its sense of unity. For example, committee, team. So if we say your team has performed very well, so we are considering the team as a singular, not as a plural noun. Compound noun like brothers-in-law, passers-by, women servant, etc. Plurals are formed by making plural of principal noun like sisters-in-law, not sister-in-laws. Next is mathematics, physics, ethics, economics, measles, politics, etc. are singular forms. But when we talk about them for a particular thing, then it can be used for showing plural. For example, my economics are strong. But we can't say economics are an interesting subject. The same way, if we say the politics of our state is very dirty, it's correct. When dozen, hundred, million, etc. are used with numbers, then they are not pluralized. For example, he bought 3 dozens oranges. This is wrong because here dozens is used with a number, that is 3. But if we say dozens of man or hundreds of people, that is correct. Some nouns seem singular but are always used with plural form. For example, rupee, police, poultry, cattle, people, infantry, children, etc. Police has arrested the thief. This is wrong. The correct is police have arrested the thief. Nouns which are always plural are trousers, scissors, pants, binoculars, spectacles, elms, fireworks, wages, surroundings, etc. My scissors are very sharp. This is correct. While if we say my scissors is very sharp, this is wrong. Next is singular countable nouns cannot be used alone without a or n, the, this, that, or a possessive like my, your, his, etc. For example, he is eating an apple is correct, but if we say he is eating apple, this is wrong because this singular noun which is countable can't be used alone without using any determiner. Uncountable nouns can be used alone without the, this, that, some, my, etc. For example, he is eating rice. I love music. So because rice is uncountable, we have written it alone without using any other determiner with it. As this video is totally based on the noun, so here we will know about each and everything about a noun. So now let's learn the genders of nouns. In English, the 4 genders of noun are masculine, feminine, common and neuter. Masculine nouns refer to words for a male figure or male member of a species, that is man, boy, actor, horse, etc. Feminine nouns refer to female figures or female members of a species, that is woman, girl, actress, mayor, etc. Common nouns refers to members of a species and don't specify the gender. For example, parent, friend, client, student, etc. Neuter nouns refer to things that have no gender. For example, rock, table, pencil, etc. These are generally the non-living things. There are some rules for forming the feminine gender. Let's have a look on them. Number 1, by using an entirely different word like bachelor, which is a masculine, its feminine is spinster or maid. Boy, girl, man, woman, husband, wife. Like that, there are many words. A list is given here, you can have a look on it. Another way is by adding a syllable ESS, INE, TRIX, etc. to the masculine gender. For example, author, which is masculine, its feminine is authoress. The same way, lion, lioness. For more words, you can have a look on this list. Another way is In the following, ESS is added after dropping the vowel of the masculine ending. For example, actor. This is a masculine. Actress is feminine. Here you can see the vowel O is dropped and in place of it, ESS is added to the end. Emperor, empress. Waiter, waitress. One more way is by placing a word before or after. For example, bull calf, cow calf. Man servant, maid servant. Milkman, milkmaid. To watch the list in more detail, you can pause the video and have a look on it. So I hope you have enjoyed this video and learned a lots of things about the noun, and it's going to help you in your life also. All the best for all types of competitive exams. Thank you and keep watching the channel for more informative videos.